n8n allows you to create multiple workflows and have them all work together. Each workflow can have their own AI agent. One workflow or agent will act as the parent agent or parent workflow, and then the other workflows will act as tools, called upon whenever they're needed, depending on what they're set up as. The scenario I'll be using today is creating an AI assistant which acts as the parent agent, and then it calls the sub-agents whenever a specific task is needed. One will be a calendar one and a Notion one, allowing you to connect to your Notion database and your Google Calendar. If this is something you'd like to learn how to build, then keep watching and I'll show you how to get this set up. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to my channel where I teach you how to build automations and AI agents. So as I mentioned earlier, today I'll be building an AI assistant. I'll show you how this works and some of the use cases with it. Of course, I have templates for the parent agent and also the sub workflows. So you can get this set up, ready to go, just plug in your data, and then you should be able to have the same setup. What I'll start off with here is just going over a quick overview on how this works, and then show you how to get the template. And then of course we're going to start building, and I'll show you how to get this all plugged in and ready to go. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so a quick overview on how this looks like, just to give you a visual of what I mean. So this is our main workflow right here. We have the Telegram trigger set up as a trigger. So whenever a message is sent through Telegram, so this is my Telegram bot right here. I'll be showing you how to set this up later. But you send a message, gives it to the AI agent, and then agent replies to your same Telegram bot. Now, the way this agent is set up is it has a simple memory, basically so it remembers the last 5 chat messages that you've sent. And then for this one, it's using Gemini 2.5 Pro. You're welcome to replace this with whatever LLM you like, but this is how I have it set up. Now, these are the sub workflows that I have set up. So this is one right here. This is the calendar agent. So whenever I send a chat message through Telegram and it's anything calendar related, the AI agent should be calling upon this tool right here, which is this whole workflow, and then it'll reply saying that it's been completed or not, depending on how that went. Going into this sub workflow right here, the way this works is the execution here, or the trigger, sorry, is executed right here, executed by another workflow. So I have it set up to accept all data coming from this one. So this one will send a query, activates this agent, and then this one has a whole bunch of Google Calendar tools depending on what needs to be done. So I titled them here, so update event, create event, delete event, or get event. That should be self-explanatory. This one's also using Gemini 2.5 Pro. Once it's done, it just sends the output. If it's success, it'll send its output, and if it's an error message, it'll just throw this manually entered error message that I have in there. And then the other sub workflow that I have here is the Notion agent. So this is the tool right here. The same trigger, so it's executed by another workflow. And then you have your AI agent, Gemini 2.5 Pro as well. This one's a little bit more simple. This one connects to my Notion database, where it says get pages and create a page. This one also has the same type of output. You have your success right here, where it'll just send its output to you or to the parent agent, and then error message, same thing. I just have a manually entered error message. So then going back to the parent agent here, once one of these tasks are complete, it sends its output right back to this agent, which then replies to you through Telegram. All right, so this agent right here has its own prompt. I'll leave this in the template, basically just explaining how it's supposed to work, the tools it's supposed to use, and how to output its data. So I'll just quickly be going over what you'll need, where to get the template, and then we'll start building from there. All right, so going over quickly on what you will need in order to get this to work. It's really quite simple. If you've been following all of my videos, you would have had your Telegram bot set up, your Notion integration set up, and your Google credentials. If you haven't already, I'll link the video, each video on how to set up your Notion integration and your Google credentials. Telegram bot, it's really quite simple, so I'll be showing you how to build that super quick in case you don't know. And then you'll need the template of this workflow. So I'll show you where to get the template, how to import it into n8n, and then we'll get started on getting this built and set up for you. If you watch my previous videos, you would remember that I used to use my GitHub to store some of my templates. I'm going to put this one in my GitHub for this time. I'll probably integrate downloading multiple workflows on my other website shortly, but just for now, for this video, this is where I'll have it set up. So I'll leave the link in here in the description below on how to get to this page here. But if you go to the table of contents, you see multi-agent AI assistant. It'll just take you down here and it'll show you how each workflow is set up. Going back to the top, you'll see this folder right here, multi-agent AI assistant. Click on this. You'll see the different files right here, the parent agent, Notion agent, and calendar agent. So you'll download each one. I'll show you how to do that right here. So I'm going to click on the parent agent. All right, you're going to copy all of this. All right, and then you're going to paste it into a notepad right here. And then you're going to save it. Choose a destination on your computer, anywhere you like. And then you can just give it whatever name you want. YouTube parent.json. I'll just give it that name to test. After you give it its name, just make sure you remember to put .json at the end. That'll make it into a JSON file. So you just go ahead and save. You can close this right here. All right, and then going back to n8n here, you're going to click on the three dots right here. Import from file. You go to the location where you saved your template right here. So there's the one that I named it, YT parent agent. Select that. Boom, there it is. It's going to show these red warning signs because you just have to get your credentials set up. I'll show you how to do that. I'll be building this from scratch just to show you how I put this together, and then how to connect it to the other sub agents here. And I'll be going through a little demonstration on how this works. So let's get building. So for organizational purposes, I recommend creating a folder in n8n so you can start using. So I've been putting all of these workflows that I've been showing you in a folder called YouTube channel, but then I created another folder for this particular workflow, multi-agent workflow. And then this is where I keep my parent agent and the sub agents all stored together, just to keep things organized. So I have these two imported already. Like I said, just to give you a little closer look into how this works and how it's put together, I'm going to be building the parent agent from scratch. So I'm just going to create workflow right here. And here's our blank canvas. So before we get started, I'll quickly show you how to get your Telegram bot all put together. So the way we're going to be creating our Telegram bot is by using the bot father in Telegram. I'll put a link for the username below in the description. But just to show you here as well, this is the handle right here, bot father. Make sure it looks exactly like this when you're grabbing it, at bot father. And then here's a QR code. Maybe scan this on your phone, maybe it will bring it up. Just make sure you're talking exactly to this. Make sure there's no bot dot father, bot dash father. Those are scams. If you ever see anything like that. But anyways, going back in here, here are the commands that you'll use to create the bot. It's very simple to create it. So what I'm going to do here is go new bot. So slash new bot. You can hit enter and it says, all right, a new bot. How are we going to call it? Please choose a name for your bot. So I'm just going to name it. I've been naming them after my pets. Just going to call this one Izumi 34. Just like that. Good. Now it's going to give you the step to create the username, and it has to end with bot. So let me see if this name is taken. Zumi Hopefully this is free. Okay, it's free. Perfect. Okay. So once you're done here, I'm going to delete this bot anyway, so I don't care if you see this, but it's going to spit out this token right here. You're going to copy this. This is what you're going to need, and then we're going to be going back into n8n, and we're going to paste that in there. Okay, so going back into our blank workflow here, let's start off with the trigger. All right, so let's start off with Telegram trigger, because that's what's going to start off this whole thing. You're going to select on a message. All right, so once you're here, I have different ones here. Create new credential. You're going to paste that token that you're just given right there. I'm just going to name this one YouTube test. I'm just going to name what I just created the bot. Give it a name just so you know which bot is which. If you have multiple ones, it's easy to get them mixed up. But anyways, you hit save and you're good to go right there. Connection tested successfully. Good. So there we go. That's all I have to do for that part right there. You don't have to do anything else there, just on message, and then you select your bot right there. Okay, so after that, then you're just gonna go AI agents. We'll just leave that closed for now. Expand there. And one more time, you're gonna select Telegram. And this one is going to be, this one is send a text chat message, or send a text message right there. The chat ID, I'll show you how to get that in a moment right here. This can all say the same for now. Going back to your agent, or to the parent agent that I had here, I'm just going to copy this. But this is what you're going to put into the text. This is just saying that you're going to be using the output from the connected node, which is the AI agent. Chat ID, I'll show you how to get that in a moment. But for now, this is the agent right here. Okay, so we have these three nodes set up right here. We need some information for our other nodes right here. To get that information, we're just going to send a test message in Telegram. So turn these off for now. Double click on your trigger. Execute this step, and it's going to be listening. It's going to be waiting for you to send a message on your Telegram bot. So going back to Telegram now, right here is where you're just going to click on that link right there. It gives you when you create your bot. So double click on that and click on start, and it's ready to go right there. Okay. I guess we didn't have to send a message, but it gives out some output right here. We're going to use some of this for our other nodes. All right, so we're going to turn these back on. This one right here. All right, so for the AI agent, select define below. Prompt text message. Right here under chat, you're going to see something say text. You're going to grab that and drag it over here. There you go. So that's a prompt that your agent is going to get. And then you're also going to add option, system message, and then this is where you put your prompt for your AI agent. Now, if you're using the template, you should already have something like this. Tells you what tools to use. I'm just going to copy and paste. Not sure what happened there. I'm just going to copy. All right, so I'm going to copy this. And then just go back here. I'm gonna paste. All right. So that's pretty much it for that agent. I'm gonna hit save here. Okay, good. Now going back to this last node right here, the last Telegram, it's gonna need a chat ID. So what this is it makes sure that you're using the same bot, same Telegram bot, same conversation. So expand Telegram trigger right here. You're going to look under chat right here, and then there's ID. So you're going to drag that ID. Make sure you don't get mixed up with the other ones here. It should be under chat, ID, drag, drop it right there. And that maintains the same conversation. I'm also going to change that to make sure you're using the same Telegram bot. Okay, we're good. send. Let's just execute this one more time just to make sure it all works. So I'm gonna execute right here. Oh yeah, I guess I should give it a model. So I forgot to do that part. So you just give it a model right there. I'm just gonna use 2.5 Pro here, Gemini 2.5 Pro. All right, but you can use any model you like. So once you set up your credentials right there, I'm gonna hit save. All right. So let's see how this works right now. If I execute this right now, it's gonna be waiting. So I'm gonna say, hello, how are you? All right. Goes through, and it should reply to us with its output right there. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. How can I help you today? I already fixed this in the template, but if you go in the bottom here, add field, append n8n attribution. I'm just going to turn that off. That way you don't get this. The message was sent by n8n every time. But there we go. So you always want to make sure you have this communication working before setting up the rest. Now, let's do this one more time. I'll show you something interesting here. Okay, so I'm just gonna send in a little test message here. Okay, that's okay. I don't really need it to do that equation anyways, but then I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say, okay, oh, I'm gonna execute this first. And let's see what it does here. You'll see how it says, I'm sorry, but I don't have the previous message to repeat. So it's not going to remember every single chat. So you're going to click on memory right here and select simple memory. So this is really helpful whenever you're creating easy AI agents where you're going back and forth with the agent. It has to remember some of your previous messages. It's going to be really annoying if it forgets each time. So that's the memory right there, and it'll remember all the conversations that you had. I'll demonstrate later how that works. When you open up simple memory, you're going to select this top drop down, define below. This is also going to need the chat ID from Telegram. So under chat one more time, get the ID, boom, right there. This allows it to use the Telegram conversation. There we go. This is pretty much the entire parent agent setup. That's it. It's really easy. The only thing you need to do now is to set up the tools, which is calling the sub workflows. So let's do that right now. Okay, so getting started with our sub workflows, you're going to click on this plus sign right here. And then what you're going to select is call n8n workflow tool. Right there. I'm going to start off with a calendar agent. So calendar agent. The description, I'm just pasting the same one from my template, but it's just going to say call this tool for any calendar related actions. And then you're going to select the sub workflow from this drop down right here. And then these are the ones that I just that I imported earlier. So YT calendar agent, save. I'm just going to add the other one here in tools, same thing right here. And call this tool for any Notion related actions. I'm going to call this Notion agent, and then choose, then you're going to choose the Notion agent that you just imported. Boom, save, and then there you go. The last thing we're going to have to set up here is just going over our sub workflows, making sure the credentials are all set. I'll just go over each one super quick just to make sure that it all works, and then we'll test it out to see how this works. Okay, starting off with the calendar agent, I'm not going to go over building this one. I just imported the template, but it should look like this. The same trigger agent, the prompt. This will be set in there already. It's just telling you how to use this, how this sub workflow should operate, and how the agent should work. So this is the prompt that I have here, just telling it which tools to use depending on what it needs to do. So that's right in here. So this one has all the different ones that I mentioned earlier: update, create, delete, and get. So when you're importing this, you really don't have to do anything. The prompt set, everything's set. The only thing you have to do is open up the Gemini app, make sure it has your credentials set up, or replace it with your model of your choosing. And then for those of you who've been following me, you should already have your client ID and client secret for your Google credentials. I'm just gonna go set up here. Client ID, client secret. If you haven't, I'll show you how to do that. I'll link in the description the video that shows you how to do that. But one thing to make sure, even if you have been watching all the videos, is making sure you go into your Google Cloud. I'm just gonna go from the very beginning here. Search Google Calendar API. Make sure you have this enabled. I don't think I've covered Google Calendar yet. I already have this enabled, but it should say enable for you. Once you have enabled, if you don't have your credentials for Google Calendar, just make sure you add them. Put in your client ID, client secret. You should be good to go from there. But anyways, just make sure you have your credentials selected right here. From email address, I'm just gonna select, just make sure you change that to yours. Everything else here should stay the same. Create event, same thing. Make sure you're picking your credentials and your email address. Just gonna do. Alright, that's pretty much it, and that should be good to go right there. You're all set up with a calendar agent. Now going into our Notion sub workflow. Again, I'll put a link in the description below how to set up your Notion connection. I'm going to be using this test database that I've been using for my last Notion video. Once you go in here, just select your Notion account. I'm just gonna pick the demo one that I've been using. Your database should show up right here. There it is, YouTube database. And then everything else here should stay the same. Going back to create a page, make sure you're again selecting your credentials and your database. Everything else here should stay the same. There are some properties that you might change. So for example, I have title, category, and date for this test database. If you have another category, like let's say you want to put, let's say description right there, video description, just make sure, close and open, you're adding that property. So you go add property, and it should show up in the drop down video description right there. That's the same one that I just created, right? And then if you ever are doing this, change that to date. If you ever are doing this, you can copy and paste from one of these. Now let's see right here, copy, paste, and then you change this to video description. Don't worry if it's red. It just hasn't received any data yet, so I can't find it. But yeah, and then whenever you tell your AI to use the video description, say, hey, this is the video description. But I'm going to delete this for now because I already have my other one set up here. But I just wanted to show you that in case you needed to customize it a little bit. I'm just going to delete that there as well. Okay, so there you go. You have your sub workflows all set up here, pretty quick and easy. Just have to plug in your credentials for Google Calendar and Notion. Going back to our parent agent, this is pretty much done already. Let's give it a little test and I'll show you a demonstration on how this all works. Okay, so demonstration time. Let's see how this all works. I have my calendar ready to go here. I'm just going to change this to month. Right into January 2026. Happy New Year, by the way. And then I have this test data in my YouTube database. So I have a few things, random things here. Pick up tomatoes, read documentation. I have categories and dates. So this matches the stuff here from create a page. Okay, so we have our parent agent all connected. Good to go. Just make sure. Okay. All right, so if you have this active, you can start chatting back and forth with your bot. But just to show you how this all flows, I'm going to keep it off. I'm going to have to hit execute workflow every time I chat to it. But just so you know, that's only for demonstration and testing. Once you have it live, you don't have to execute each time. You don't have to press execute at all. You just start talking right to your Telegram bot. So just so you know. But let's hit this right here, execute workflow. All right, so it's going to be listening. I'm going to just send this right here. It says, can you please get the dates for the pages on my Notion, please? So it's going to go right here, hit the Notion agent. All right. There we go. Of course, here are the dates for your pages. So read documentation, January 4th, pick up tomatoes, January 3rd, clean kitchen, January 4th. So it looks like it all matches right here. Awesome. That's pretty cool. So it brings back information from our Notion. Now I'm going to hit execute one more time. Again, this is just for demo purposes. But what I'm going to say now is add these to my calendar. Okay, so I put this in. It says thanks. Probably don't need to say thanks, but anyway, can you add all these events, please, to my calendar? Set all the times to 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. It doesn't matter if they overlap. So you just have to be a little bit specific when adding it to your calendar, but it has all these dates right here. So let's hit enter. It's still listening. Let's hit enter and see what happens. It says here, I've added those events to your calendar. So let's go to my calendar here. Boom, there it is. Pick up tomatoes on the 3rd, clean kitchen, read documentation on the 4th. Awesome, looks like that worked. Let's do one more little demonstration. I want to show you how this works with the other tool in our Notion agent. This is create page. So we know that the get pages works, and then it adds it to your calendar. Let's do a little bit more with Notion here. So I'm going to hit this execute workflow one more time. I'm going to ask it one more request. Okay, so I have this message here typed up. It says, can you add a page to my Notion, please? Title it pick up food for dinner. The date should be 2025, January 5th. And the category should be shopping. So what I'm doing right here is I'm giving it the title. I'm getting the category and the date. All right, so let's see how this works. Hit send. Okay, shows green there. I've added that page to your Notion. So let's go to Notion here. Boom, awesome. Pick up food for dinner, shopping, January 5th, 2025. And this is all done through just Telegram. So like I said, once you have this active, you click on active right here, click on it. You don't have to log into n8n and execute each time or anything. You can do this on your Telegram app on your phone, computer, wherever. And now you can just start chatting it, give it any requests, any calendar requests, Notion requests, and then it'll work it out for you. So there you have it. That's how you build a simple AI assistant with a multi-workflow setup using sub-agents and a parent agent. I hope that was helpful for you and that all makes sense. I try to reply to all of my comments as much as I can, so please feel free to leave a comment if you're confused about anything, get stuck on anything. Just reach out to me there and I'll guide you, help you if you get stuck at all. But if you like content like this, please give a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. But in the meantime, enjoy your brand new AI assistants, and I'll see you in the next one.